Hello and welcome back to the Wellness Journal by Willa Krause Skin Care. Today I have the wonderful honor of being joined by Chantell Nienaber. Chantell is the owner of one of Willa Krause Skin Care's top salon and she ranks every year with the function. So I'm so happy to have you here. Chantell, why don't you start off by telling us where the listeners can find your salon?
Hi, Carmen. It's such a privilege to have you this morning. I feel very honored. My salon currently is in Wonderboom, 144 Tacoma Street. I recently moved to the new premises in February this year. So it's a new and exciting area where I can perform all my treatments and do videos and a lot of things. It's quite a spa-like feel. So I feel like a doctor here because I've got my own rooms, private space. So I love being in this new premises. And it's really close to the malls, to the hospitals, to school. So I love working in this new environment.
Oh, that's lovely. I'm excited for you. New space, new feel. While we're on that, I would love for you to start by telling us how did you get started in the skincare industry? And can you tell us a bit about the journey from starting your salon until now, where you now have new premises and everything?
Yes, well, when I was in high school, I never really knew what I wanted to do with my life. I do know that we are all born for a purpose. So I had this urge just to find something that I can live out my purpose, which God intended for me as a human being. And I wanted to do photography first because I knew the one thing I do knew is that I wanted to work with people. I did not want to be office bound and do maths all the time or be a CA or something like that. So I wanted to work with people. And the thing is, I wanted to start with photography. But then the day I was sending my files through with fax machines, those days we only had fax machines, we didn't have email or Gmail or nothing. And then that day, my aunt came and visited us at our house. And she had this talk about her daughter, my cousin, was going to go for somatology training. And that day, while she was talking, I had this urge that I'm doing something wrong. I'm not going into the right direction at all. That night, I couldn't sleep. I was tossing and turning because I really felt that she spoke about something that touched my heart a lot. So then I went in, and those days we only had the huisgenootjies. You didn't even have Google to search. So I searched in the subscription to see where I can find a place and find out more about beauty. So I did. And then we went to the college, Aesthetica College in Brooklyn. That was in 2003. And then I joined there and I studied there for 2 years, 2.5 years. So I did my 3 year somatology at Aesthetica College, which was really great. I really enjoyed every moment. The moment I stepped into that building, I knew that this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I want to work with people. I want to make women beautiful. I want to create people with a beautiful skin, with loving their self, their nails, just to be who they are in the beauty industry. So that was where my passion started. So I studied, I was top student in my class because I really wanted to do well. I always thought to myself, I can't just know 60% about the skin. I had to know everything. I had to do everything possibly to be the best beautician and skincare specialist out there. So I did very well with my practicals and with my exams because I really enjoyed studying about the body, how God made us and our skin and how it's an organ on its own and how you can really access it and change it in your life. You don't have to go through all the phases with all the scars left. You can have a beautiful, wonderful, glowing skin even when you're older. So that passion for skin was really amazing for me. That's what drove me into the study. So in that space, I started also working at Alma John's beauty salon under John Marie Elof those days. So I became her apprentice after 6 months of studying. And then I became a therapist in her salon. It was a very small salon, only 2 cubicles, way back in actually a clothing store where we started. But I felt comfortable there because she really took me under her wing and she trained me with everything in Willa Krause. When we had holidays, I went for all the Willa Krause skincare training. I went for all the machine trainings, everything there was to be learned and taught at Willa Krause. I was there. And I really appreciated that. So that I already had some knowledge about the skincare, using it in my practice as well as a therapist and in the studies, which was great. So then I enjoyed studying with her as well. We went through a lot of courses together. So she really helped me as a manager. And then after finishing my studies, I stayed there. I was actually offered a lecturer's job at the Aesthetic Academy, but
Wow.
I turned it down because you know what? I just thought I only had book knowledge. I only had knowledge from the studies I had at that moment. I didn't have any practical, really expertise or experience. So I turned it down, and then she gave me a job as a therapist, which I was for 10 years. I worked for the salon. I was head therapist, and then at one stage I was the manager as well for 3 years. So I managed the whole salon as it was my own. And then I worked there for 10 years, which was really great. She also became the Willa Krause multi-well salon, which was really great because then I had the opportunity to learn about all the slimming machines, the new multi-well concept was used. So I knew all those machines. I went for all the training, which was really great. So I did go into the slimming as well. As though I found out later that skincare was more my passion, but it was always nice to have some extra knowledge and know about these things so you can educate your clients as well on their bodies and their health and things like that. So it was really a benefit for me. And then after the 10 years, my husband and I decided we wanted to start a family. And that was important for me as well because it's part of being a businesswoman and a therapist. I also wanted to have a family. I incorporate everything. And then I got pregnant, and then I decided to go on my own and start my own salon. In 2014, when my daughter was born, I started very small. And then I had my salon for 2 years. It was a small holding with my sister. Me and her incorporated into a business, and then we worked together. And for 2 years, I was busy doing my salon and building it up from there, starting from scratch completely. And then I just prayed and said, God, if you want me in this business, I need you to send me the clients. Let me meet them in salons, in spas, at the spa, at the checkers, if possible, because those days there was no data records. And I wasn't one of those therapists that wanted to take the records of the previous salon. It just didn't feel right. If I'm going on my own business, I need God to send me the clients, and they will find me on Facebook or wherever. And that's how it happened. So I actually in the beginning, just wanted my salon to go for a year, just to get my baby girl big enough so I can send her to a creche and then go back to a salon environment because I was really comfortable with what I was doing, getting a salary and know what you're getting paid every month. But it didn't just work that way. And for a year, I went on my own. And after 2 years, it went so well that I thought, you know what, I'm going to just continue with this business, educate myself, get into the right direction and see where this is going. And then I enjoyed it so much. So then after 2 years, we moved from the premises where me and my sister started the business. So she went overseas and I went to Enkledorp Street in Montana. It's also a business where hairdressers are, beauticians are. So I joined them. So I rented a room there and we enjoyed working together. So I had a lot of other colleagues with me working all together. And that's I also went for extra training. So as a business owner, I knew that I had to go for extra training. I went for fibroblast training. I went for microbiome training, for derma planning, IPL. So I completed the whole aesthetic circuit for beauty because that's very important to me because you need to get everything you want to do so you can offer your clients more, not just skincare or not just gel, nails, or pedicure. So I went into aesthetics as well because I really like to give my clients a holistic approach to aging so that they can perform natural treatments, especially like the micropacks from Willa Krause, the rejuvenator, so they can have beautiful skin even when they're older. So that is where I started. And then after 10 years, 12 years, it was 12 years that I was at Enkledorp Street in that building. I moved to this new premises and I'm here now for almost 3 months and I'm enjoying every bit of it. And I'm still continuing in educating myself. In 2019, I completed my diploma in education and training so I can perform as a tutor. I feel like even though Willa Krause has given me the platform and the trust after being a somatologist for such a long time, I believe that you have to have that backing of education behind you. So that's what I've done. It took me quite a while because I started the studies in COVID time. So instead of finishing it in a year, I had 4 years working on the project of completing my studies for education and training. So now in 2018, I started training at Willa Krause, where I gave training in the microneedling industry, which I love a lot because that really gives me access to the skin and help clients to really give yourself a better canvas every time you use the treatment. So I love the training about doing micro needling and also other trainings as well. But my passion is now with the micro needling. So I finished my course in that. So I like to do the training as well at head office. And that is where I am now. So I'm still providing training. I run my own business. And then I do also take part in associations like the Betty Bandana Association, where I like to bring in Willa Krause as a skincare and do treatments for clients with cancer and things like that. I believe you have to open up your business for every part, not just for special clients, for all groups of clients, but also for conditions like that, where those clients can't always do any treatment on their skin. Where Willa Krause has provided me the opportunity with all the new ranges that they have developed to incorporate the Cancer Association into my salon as well. So I like to go to their banquets and their functions to present Willa Krause to them. So that's also why I'm busy with at the moment to get more people involved. All associations, I believe, can use the Willa Krause and it will benefit them.
Chantell, this is so inspiring to me. And can I just allow me to make an observation? You are now the third person that I've interviewed in the Willa Krause family. And I've noticed two things. One, everyone I've interviewed is very passionate about learning and knowledge. And I really think that's what set Willa Krause salons apart, because the owners and the consultants, they just know so much. I mean, just listen to your resume. It is mind blowing to me, the years and years of knowledge you have. That is amazing. And then also the passion you have for giving back and the passion for your work. And also something that I notice everyone has in common that I've talked to is how you start from scratch and you just have this drive to keep building and to get where you are today.
I must say also, which is really important for a person in business specifically. When I started my business, I went for personality tests. I went for courses by Willa Krause to learn some of my clients' personalities as well. Because I believe even as a business owner, if you don't know yourself and you know who you are as a person, you cannot treat a person. You cannot see their personality, their strengths, their weaknesses. And then also, which I did, what was really phenomenal is I went for a Gallup strength training business assessment. So what they do is they take you as a business owner and they look at your strengths and your weaknesses, and they give you all that in a documented form. And then I learned so much about myself in business because there's highs and there's lows in your personality. And that made me, I think, a stronger person because I know from a business perspective how I would approach clients because I know who I am. Especially in the beauty industry, if you don't know who you are with your strengths and your weaknesses, you will not be able to diagnose, recognize, or see patterns in your clients or in your peers even. So I must say that is one phenomenal thing. I think every person starting a business, going into even studies, should know themselves before you start studying because then you will acquire so much need and you cannot to on it. And then work on your strong points, but also work on your weak points. And not allow your weak points to kill you down, but to just let you thrive even more, give you hope to work on. And that is what I think is very fundamental in anybody who wants to start a business. First, to know yourself, your business, and who you are before approaching anything else. Because people are very good in sensing insecurity. I mean, I don't know everything. Sometimes you have to tell your clients, wait, let me just find out for you. So honesty is also a very big part of being in business. But I think it's very important that as a person, you must know who you are so you can really provide the best service and treatments to your clients.
I've never heard it said in those specific words before. And that's really eye opening for me because self knowledge is such a big part of success. I've thought that before, but self knowledge as a business owner and the way you describe how that allows you to serve your clients better, that is quite revolutionary. Thank you for sharing that. I would love to know from you, what are some of your skincare non negotiables?
For me, SPF daily is a non negotiable. The reason why we age and the reason for most skincare problems is because of we're not using sunblock. And some people would say, but I work in a building all the time and it's rainy where I live. But that's not an excuse, because everywhere we have blue light radiation, your cell phone, your television, your screen from work. Sun is everywhere, even in the light, it's everywhere, LED lights. So we are exposed to the sun at a daily basis. So I believe SPF, I don't leave my house in the morning without SPF. Even if I know it's a day that I'm going to stay indoors, I'm just going to binge maybe, which doesn't happen a lot, but I do believe sunscreen is the best way for anti-aging. I read an interesting quote one day, that they say first step to anti-aging is SPF. Before you go for all the serums and all the treatments, that's the first thing. So that's very important to me. I think I've mentioned it, but I sleep on a satin pillowcase. That's very important, because I feel like a satin pillowcase, it just helps the skin not to stretch while you're sleeping, because sometimes if you wake up and you have all these marks against your skin, you know you had a rough night. So I believe in satin pillowcases for hair, for good hair, as well as for good skin care. I also like to cycle my serums. I don't use the same serum for a long time. I believe that as the body, in the winter, you want to eat a little bit more. In the summer, you want to eat less. So your skin has different needs as well, because it's your largest organ. It's a living, breathing organ, and it wants different things. So I believe in cycling your serums, and Willa Krause has a wide variety of choices for serums. So I would use one in the morning and then a different one at night, and then cycle them, so that my skin doesn't get used to just one way. You have to keep the skin interested. It is a living organ, so you can't give it the same all the time. You never eat the same every day. You go with what your body wants. So I go with what my skin needs. So I like to cycle my serums. I do like to hydrate myself a lot, especially with purified water. I like to drink a lot of purified water, because if your skin is not hydrated, you can use all the serums you want. Beauty comes from within. So it's really important that you look at what you eat. Like I told you, I don't really do any specific diet like a carb cut or high protein diet. I believe I eat what I feel like at that moment. And as you grow older, you can also find that you will know exactly when something is bothering your body, and you will exclude it immediately. So even for skincare, I don't believe in eating too much sugar. I try to cut on the sugar and keep to fresh vegetables and meat. I am a meat lover, so I like to have more protein. So that is very important for me. And then obviously moisturize and use skincare daily and evening. I believe in my day and my evening skincare. I don't believe in applying all skincare all at once. I believe your skin likes its serums and its moisturizer like a dine and wine restaurant. So first the starter, and that will be your cleanser and your serum. Then you would just go and do something else, come back, and then apply your moisturizer. Go and do something else, come back and do your SPF. You never apply it like it's a sandwich. You want to give time for your skin to absorb everything. So I believe in skincare, you layer it, yes, but you must give time for that layers to penetrate properly, because otherwise all the active ingredients just integrate with one another and there's no synergy. So you would like to give them each their time to develop and go into the skin, because the skin doesn't absorb that easily. It's really protective. So it won't just allow anything, especially when you are older. It won't just allow anything, because over the years, the barrier, it's becoming more protective against sun and damage. So you must remember, you can't do the whole first 3 minutes in front of the mirror. I start with the cleanser. I go, and then I do my serum. I go do dress or do the hair, and then I come back for the rest. And then at the end, I end off with the SPF. And then I also wait a few minutes and then do the makeup if necessary. One of my skincare negotiables is also sometimes I just let my hair down on my skin. I don't do makeup over weekends like Sundays. I would just allow just the normal skincare, pamper my skin. I do like LED treatments at home. I do my micro needling as well. I like to go for facials. It's very important, especially at my age, to do rejuvenator facials regularly. So my husband, he always laughs at me, because when he gets into the room, he'll see me lying on the bed with a red lamp over my skin. He says, "My lovey, what are you doing?" He says, "I'm making myself beautiful for you. I want to grow old with you, but I want to stay young." So then he'll just laugh at me. So usually if he sees me with something funny on my face, it's me experimenting with something new, usually all Willa Krause product. But I like to pamper my skin. I like to love my skin. I like to massage my skin. I also believe one skincare non-negotiable is facial yoga at night. I believe in doing facial yoga before you go to sleep because it really calms your mind. It really lowers your cortisol levels because have high cortisol levels, all of our women, because we have to work, we have kids, we have a business to run, we have a household to run. So I believe massaging my skin and doing facial yoga at night is the best way to get good sleep because sometimes you don't get all the sleep you need. But then the facial yoga helps me for the sinuses, lymphatic drainage, and it helps me to sleep better. Because I've had some problems with sinuses before. And when I started doing the facial yoga at night, I just found it so much beneficial for me. And my husband would usually laugh at me because I would pull funny faces. But then I would just tell him, why don't you do it with me? And he's like, no, I don't want to look like you. And I said, but that is working for me. Look how beautiful I still look at 40. So he says, no, you continue with what you're doing, my love. It's working. So yes, by pulling faces at night, that is one of my skincare non-negotiables. It really works for me and it makes me calm down because I'm a very busy person. I like to be busy the whole day. So if I don't take that 5 minutes to do facial yoga, you just rush into bed, lie down and go to sleep. Then you don't really go into that deep sleep that your skin needs to beautify itself. You know, that beauty sleep we all talk about. So if you want to go into a deep sleep, I believe facial yoga, it's one of the things you have to do before you go to bed. So that's some of my skin negotiables.
Yeah, but now I have to ask, can you please give us some examples of the facial yoga moves? I have no idea where to even begin.
I will show you. Most of them is like, you know, that.
Okay.
Yeah,
For those of you
yes, and
not
then
watching on YouTube, sorry, I just want to tell everyone if they're listening on Spotify, we are currently pulling faces, so go look on
doing
YouTube
stuff.
so you can do it.
Yes, and then
Yeah.
yes, just like that. And then also, so yes,
That is
affect
quite
all those
relaxing,
lines.
actually.
It's very much. And you know what? I also believe one of my skincare negotiables is just you do apply your serum,
Um,
especially your serum. After you've applied your serum, you have to do tapping. It's really important to tap your skin. I do that every morning. That's part of my skincare regimen and one of my non-negotiables. I do tapping. And the tapping sometimes hurt in the beginning, but it's because of all the sinuses and lymphatic blockages in your skin. And that helps with puffiness around the eyes. It prevents wrinkles because it does what we call fascia release. The reason we age is because our fascia, which is a sheath that covers our muscle, is tensed because of years of stress, cortisol levels. So that's why you have to constantly release your fascia. That's where facial yoga comes in, and that's where tapping your skincare in works. Because while tapping, you are creating a vibration in your skin. It releases tension within your skin and it pulls your face together and it releases the muscles that are tense. Because wrinkles is not just because of aging, it's because of fascia tension. The muscles are tensed all the time. So you have to massage it to release the tension. And that's one of the first steps to anti-aging while incorporating the correct products. So yeah, that is what I do. And it really works.
that is so interesting, and I've also never heard anybody talk about the wine and dining of, or you should like wine and dine your skincare. I love that.
Yeah, it's not like McDonald's. It's not a drive-through. Your skincare is not a drive-through. You have to take time to prepare because remember, your skin is going into a fight during the day. There's so much enemies like the sun, environmental factors, pollution, dirty hands, smoking. I mean, whatever there is, there's so many things that attacks your skin during the day. So you have to prepare it for a fight. And that is where I say you can't just do a drive through with your skin and just slap everything on and there you're ready for the day. You have to start your morning right because then the rest of your day will go better.
And what advice would you give a teenager who is currently struggling with acne, struggling with self-esteem?
Yes, acne is a big problem under the younger people. The best advice I would say is to just start somewhere. Start with cleansing your skin in the morning and at night and be consistent. Be reliant and be disciplined about your skin because teenagers, they've got so many other things they would rather spend their time on than their face because it takes time. They would rather like to go Facebook again and do some YouTube videos and all those things. But I've seen that with my own kids as well. I've got teenagers at home, and especially my daughter. She had some breakouts, and I would tell her all the time, my love, please clean your skin in the morning and at night. No, but I'm tired. I says, yes, because if you're going to wake up tomorrow morning, you're going to see more pimples. And I must say that actually happened. She stood up the one morning and her face was full of pimples. I said, I know, because you haven't washed your skin last night. And she says, okay, now I'll start doing it. And then she did start doing it, and that works. Just by cleansing your skin with a proper cleanser from Willa Krause, we have an amazing teenage range, and all those products incorporated in the skincare is really working for teenagers. It's got the vitamin C, the aloe, the green tea, the hyaluronic acid, everything your skin needs without stripping it from excess oil and keeping your skin normal, but just dissolving some of the excess oil. So that's very important. Teenagers also think if they've got pimples, let's use a hard scrub or a harsh scrub and go over the skin and scrub everything off. That's the worst you can do for acne skin, because usually acne skin is all inflamed as well. So that means you can just oversensitize your skin, overscrub the skin, and just cause more pimples and more blackheads. So it's important for them as well to look after their health, look after their eating patterns. And the recent thing I've learned or read is that cell phones is a reason for acne breakouts, because they're on their cell phones all the time. Their hands are dirty. The blue light radiation causes excess inflammation in the skin as well, because teenagers these days are not playing outside anymore. They're on Facebook, they're FaceTiming, they're on their phones all the time. That is actually quite a danger for acne, which I've recently discovered. So FaceTime is very important. Some of them would lie late at night with their phones checking videos and Spotify or TikTok. And that blue light radiation also causes disruption in their sleep. And that causes high cortisol levels in the body. And because of high cortisol levels, the inflammation is higher, the infection is higher, and the skin doesn't get the sleep it needs or the hydration because of lack of sleep, because of too much cell phone. So media and social media has an effect on acne these days. So I believe that teenagers should look after their health, drink a lot of water. Sometimes they don't like to drink healthy water or purified water. They like the soda drinks or the energy drinks. I don't like those energy drinks because I think that causes problems within the body. So beauty comes from within. So they have to look at their diet. They have to look at what they're doing. They have to start with a cleaning routine morning and night. It's not necessary for too much products. Too much, too fast is not a good thing. Start slow, be consistent every day. My youngest one, I've seen her breaking out a little bit. She's 10 years old now. And I told her, my dear, you must do your skincare. Remember, I told your older sister as well. And when she started doing that, in a month's time, she could see her results by just doing cleansing and moisturizing. And then she said, Mommy, but I forget. And I says, but no, then you put alarms for yourself. You put stickers on the wall if you have to. And you know what she did over the weekend? I laughed so much. She printed on my phone a PowerPoint presentation. She wrote for herself, Shanique, you must wash your face in the morning and at night. And she attached it to the mirror in their bathroom. That's just, if you have to do that, make notes for yourself. She asked me to come and have a look. And she said, Mom, do you see, I put up the poster. And this morning is the first morning I actually saw her washing her face and putting cream on her skin, because she realized that she's getting small pimples and she doesn't want that. She's a girl. She wants a beautiful skin. And that counts for the boys as well. If you have to put an alarm for you, you have to check your skin, look after your skin, moisturize it, put sunblock on. Sunblock is very important for acne clients as well. I know they say, the sunblock is too oily for me. At Willa Krause, we have the matte sunscreen that dissolves the oil, so it can give a mattifying effect, especially when they play sports. The reason where some clients, especially your acne clients, teenagers, they get acne because of sports. They do a lot of sports, so they sweat a lot. So the sweating goes on the hairline, it goes back into the neck, it goes back into the chest, and also at the back, and it creates papules, pimples, and all kinds of breakouts. So it's very important to clean your skin properly, not a wishy-washy. Do it properly with your hands and your fingers. Massage the skin, because that helps with cleansing from within. And then rinse your face. If you've done sports and you've done netball or cricket or rugby, make sure that you clean your skin properly. Make sure that no sweat left, because that creates the havoc on the skin. And that's really important. And also, which I do as well, I sleep on a satin pillowcase. A teenager should also, and they must wash their own pillowcase regularly, because of the sweating, and in the evening the skin is it's excreting some of the waste products during the day. It's important every second day to clean and get a new pillowcase, because that's also the reason some clients struggle. You can wash your face and make it nice and proper, but if you go and sleep on a dirty pillowcase, that's just crazy. And I mean, a teenager, their hands are not always clean. Their hands are sometimes very dirty from eating, during breaks and during recess and things like that. So it's important that they have a sanitizer with them or something they can clean their hands with. Because because even in school, I remember you would sit with your hands like this, or you would scratch your hair, and that also causes acne. So it's habits that you can improve upon. And then it's always important, if you can, go for a deep cleanse facial or do some nano needling for an acne client. But the first thing is to start with something. Just start by cleansing and moisturizing and sunblock. And then already you've won a great part of the war against acne. And I must say, Willa Krause's acne supplement has done great benefits for my daughter. I mean, even I must tell you that she would run out of stock with the capsules, and then she'll tell me a week before, Mom, my capsules is finished. I need my acne supplements. Because the acne supplements has really improved her skin from within. And then if she washes her skin, it helps to combat on both sides, systemically and topically, which is really important. So I believe the supplement does help a lot because it has echinaforce in it, vitamin C and zinc. So if you do get marks, it helps to clear up the marks, and it helps with DNA repair. And it also helps with studying. So it's not just an acne supplement, it also helps with cortisol levels and balance the hormones a bit, which is really great. So that's the advice. If you can go just for the acne supplements and do the cleaning routine morning and night and sunblock, you are way ahead already.
That's amazing tips. I mean, I just thinking back to when I was a teenager, I so relate to what you said about the hand. And then you listen to the teacher, and then with your hair, and your hair is oily, and you touch your face then. So yeah, I know what you're speaking about. And for women who are older, what advice would you give to a woman or anybody who is afraid of aging, who's approaching that phase where you're getting wrinkles and they want to know what they can do about it?
Yes, aging is part of the natural process of life. So we will never be able to take it away completely. But I do believe that we can age gracefully. And with Willa Krause, we've got all the products that you can use. So one of the main things, especially for a client getting into the aging, is supplementing your skin with serums. They are like compost for your skin. You can do cleansing, you can do moisturizing, which is really great. But your serums is the ones that work hard on your skin. They have the antioxidants, the ceramides, the peptides that your body needs, especially peptides. Ingredients with peptides, especially in your serums, is the ones that I call them the cheerleaders of the skin. They are cheering your skin on to work harder, work better, increasing metabolism, and create energy in your skin. So serums is the most important part, which I've talked about previously. By cycling your serums is also very important. I believe in SPF daily. That's really part of being, because some older women even don't believe still today in SPF. They only apply it when they're having a picnic day or having, just a fun walk or something. But daily, even if they're home, especially home moms or home executives, I would rather call them, they will not apply sunblock. But I mean, it's really important. No matter where you go, we can never escape the sun, because your skin doesn't know the difference between sun, a TV screen, a cell phone screen, or LED lights in your home. Even the microwave oven, the stove, creates infrared. It's all energy and light sources that affects your skin and that ages the skin. So we must protect it, even if you stay at home and even if it's a cloudy day. That's really important. And which I also really like is to exfoliate my skin. But especially in my age as well, 40 plus, we don't want to do really scrubs. We would like to do something with enzymes, rather something that dissolves skin cells rather than scratching on the surface of the skin. Because as you age, your collagen declines. So that means your skin already gets that sagging, leathery look. So you have to increase your cell turnover rather by doing enzyme exfoliators or Willa Krause's Skin Renewal Radiance. I love that product because it's really a sleep and peel. So while you are sleeping, you are peeling as well. And you are creating a safe, gentle environment for exfoliation with the glycolic acid and the little bit of salicylic acid inside of it. So I do believe in exfoliation, but over exfoliation can really overstimulate the skin, cause inflammation and the skin, and you can actually accelerate aging. So you must be very careful not to exfoliate too much. I believe for my skin, I do once every second week. So 2 to 3 times a month in the evening, I would apply the Skin Renewal Radiance because it works for wrinkles, for pigmentation, for even skin tone, for everything like that. So that is really important. And then also, it's very good to hydrate your skin. I think some ladies, they like their coffee, which is nice, and their tea. But you must remember water can only be absorbed into the skin. Your body does not create its own water. So it's important that you drink purified water. Water with flavoring and bubbles is not water. And you must drink purified water to keep your skin hydrated. And then your skincare routine is very important. You have to do a morning and night skincare routine. And then also the facial yoga, like I've said before, is really important as well. For older women, we don't really think it, and I think we don't have time, but to exercise and do exercise for your age is really important for skincare. And the body and the skin is not separate from one another. We want to disconnect sometimes the body from the face, but you can't because it's a whole unit. So if you look at your body, you do exercises, you do stretching, you would see that it will also be evident on your skin. So it's important to treat the body and the skin as a whole. And that I've found for mature women that they lack in. They would have excuses for exercising or not doing this or not doing that. But if you want to age beautiful, you have to look at yourself and then go for regular facial treatments. Once every 4 to 6 weeks is more than enough for your microcurrent to rejuvenate a facial to enhance your muscular tone, because we sometimes want to go for deep peels just to remove all the excess skin, but that creates inflammation in your skin as well. So microneedling, microcurrent, LED treatments, IPL treatments in moderation is all good treatments you can incorporate by your salon and by your beauty therapist. It's very important to go for regular salon visits because that helps your skin to buy time and to create a better environment for it to grow and to age gracefully. And that is really important. You have to look at that. And I've seen even with facials, it's so relaxing. That time that you just lie on the bed while someone is doing your facial, it's so relaxing. It creates a new environment and just a safe space for you to relax, to breathe deeply, and just to enjoy life. And that's, I found, is also a part of anti-aging, is to be peaceful and give yourself that time so that someone can check your skin and just work with your skin. That's really important. I also believe that in the morning, that's one of my rituals as well. I do skin rolling, but ice rolling. I like to, in the morning when I stand up, ice, cold is very good for the skin, especially for puffiness. So what I would do is after I've done my serum, I would go into the kitchen, take my ice roller and roll over my skin. In the winter, it's not always that great, but I feel so refreshing. You tighten up your skin so much. And by the rolling, I'm also removing the waste products. I'm increasing circulation and my skin feels great. It feels so alive. And then I would put my moisturizer after that and then do the tapping and then I would do the sunblock. So those small things that you can incorporate that doesn't cost a lot will also help you to anti-age, which I find has been for me a really great benefit.
Yeah, I also love the jade roller that you put in the fridge with a little
Yes,
bit of ice.
exactly.
It's an incredible habit to make your face feel alive. So you run a top salon in the Willa Krause family. What do you think sets you apart? What is your secret for success?
You know what? I believe in educating yourself all the time. One of the strengths that I've learned from the business Gallup strength training I've done is that I'm a learner, achiever, and I'm very enthusiastic, but I'm also very positive and I like harmony. So because of that, I try to teach myself and educate myself a lot. So if there's something trending and I hear clients talking about something, a new device or a new therapy, I would go into it, watch videos about it, sometimes buy it, try it on myself, and see if I can incorporate it into my business. So I believe in educate yourself on a daily basis is very important, spiritual, mentally, and physically. So I like to learn about new things. I Google a lot, I chat GPT a lot, because then I would use my knowledge, what I have, and just compare it to what I've seen. And I've learned a lot through the years just by doing that. Because time goes by, and as a salon, you have to keep up with the trend. I know you will not always be up to trend with everything. That's impossible, but you must keep up to trend because you can't do facials the same way as 10 years ago. Things have changed, serums have improved, methods have improved. So you must incorporate new things into your clients. Clients like new technology. I've seen some of my clients, if I tell them today, I'm going to use this new LED device on you today, they're like, oh, yes, 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 please. They've trusted me to the years because they know I just don't start with a thing. I've probably done it at home where my husband had to walk in with me and see me trying the new device before I would do it on my clients. So after that, I would also do a lot of research. I like to do research. I like to envelop in myself, try to know myself. I read a lot of books about business success, spiritual growth, because I also believe that you must be not just a service provider. You must be a skin coach for your clients. So how can you be a coach if you don't know anything about the skin or yourself? So I use my current phases in life as well to help my clients through their phases. So I think to be an open window is also important for your clients as a salon. I don't like to have clients come in yet. I am a professional, but I like to be just myself. I talk about my life situations. I like to talk about my family situations and bring skincare into that and bring solutions to the problems that my clients might have. And I think to associate with your clients is very important. It's good to be professional. I believe also to show up and to dress up. You can't come to the salon, do treatments for your clients and you look like you just had a bad day. I mean, I was pregnant for 2 times with my 2 daughters, and I was very sick, really. But I dressed up, I showed up, I put on the makeup, even though I knew it's not going to keep for long. But it's very important to be a professional and look after yourself. Your skin should look glowy. Your body should look good. You must look like you are looking after yourself, caring for yourself, because clients do see that. They can see if you're lacking caring for yourself, but then you want to do their nails, you want to do their skin, but your skin is not looking great. And I must say, I mean, obviously, I'm honest. If sometimes I'm going through a phase, I would tell them, sure, this is now the menopausal phase, almost premenopausal. So that's why I'm looking a bit dark-eyed today. But then you are visible to your clients. You are open to what you're going through. So I believe in that. And I believe in my salon to create an environment where a client can feel free, where she can shake off, come and lie on the bed, be herself. I talk to clients when they talk to me. If you don't talk, I allow you just to be peaceful. In my salon, I like to create the ambience of an environment of safety, peacefulness. I like to play music that is soft, instrumental specifically. I like to create, especially with smell, I've seen in my salon. Even if you just spray a nice room mist, if they come in, that smell just makes them relax just immediately. And then the music is very important. I do like in my salon to play the right music. And that is very important for me because it keeps me calm, it keeps me focused, and then it also helps my clients to relax. And then I would like sometimes to change the decor in my salon. I believe you don't want to work in the same space. You must change your environment. Change is as good as a holiday, they say. So sometimes I would just move the products, or I would just put some new other colors inside, or just a new portrait, or something like that. So the clients, when they come in, they immediately notice when you've done something different in your salon. And that means that you cared for your space. And then even if it's only a specific area, you like to change it to make them feel like they are walking into a new salon or a new space sometimes. So that I find also very important for my salon. And then it's very important to have stock. To be a top selling salon, you must have stock. You can't perform a treatment for a client and then you tell her afterwards, I'll order this for you if you want. Clients want to buy right away because you have her in a feeling of nostalgia at that moment. She's sleepy, she's dreamy. Usually she has her husband's credit card with her. So then it's a good opportunity. It's a very good opportunity to get her to buy the products because you can't let her walk out and you have to call her to come back and fetch her products. That's just, I know I've started small as well, but you have to put money aside to build a stock revenue so you can give your clients afterwards, because it's an in-moment sale opportunity. And obviously, I've learned over the years to give the correct products. You don't just give clients because you want to sell it to your client. You must give products that you think her skin really needs, not just overselling and just overpowering her with products, because then they feel very overwhelmed as well. So you must really look into your client's personality, where that's where the personality tests, if you know, the red client, she likes to buy. The yellow one, she'll buy just because it looks fun. The green one, she will say, oh, I don't have, my budget is very small. Then you just give products for her budget. And then the blue one, they are quite negative. So you must talk to them always, but you must talk to them in a way and convince them and educate them and give them facts why this product is working for you. So that's important to know your clientele as well. Know the client when she's walking in and how to sell afterwards. That is really also very important. And I like to try new technologies. I believe if there's a trend outside, I want to go and search for it. I want to see how it works. And if I've tested it on myself and it's proven to be beneficial, I will incorporate it into my salon. And that is what I've been doing over the years. Oh, educate. Knowledge is power. Like your grandma always said, knowledge is power. If there's training at Willa Krause, I attend it. If there's a salon day, I go. And I dress up. I play the part. You have to be there. It's time you take out of your salon, but you have to take time to make sure you are up to trend with what's going on around the world in the beauty market and in new technologies. It's really very important. You can't stay stagnant at all.
Yeah, very true. And after we've had this whole beautiful conversation, my favorite question, I'm wondering, is there anything that you wish you knew at the start of your career?
You know what? I think if I knew, I don't have to worry that much. I'm a hard worker, and I think sometimes I would call myself a workaholic. To take more time for myself and just to pace everything. Rome is not built in one day. It takes time, each step at a time. I think I went sometimes and rushed myself into things, worked very long hours, didn't give myself the time to just reflect and think about things. I think you worry too much, and I've seen that that has created a lot of problems for me, worrying, because I gave my business to God, and I think if I knew that now, I would have been more, peaceful with each day. If you didn't have clients that day, do something for yourself. Go and check where you can do some marketing. But then usually I would go into a frantic stage if I didn't have clients. So I think just to be more relaxed, more at ease, and confident where you are, and in the space you are, and not to rush ahead. Take every day slow, take it in, think it through, and then the plans will come, because new plans, new ideas can't come in a busy mind. If you are overworked, don't have enough energy, I found that sometimes just by sitting, just by praying and meditating, I got so many new ideas for salon treatments, products, for videos or advertising, or just anything else. So I find worrying was the thing. I think we all want to get somewhere. And what I've seen in the past, I liked to compare myself to others. And that's not good at all. It's good to evaluate yourself against others to see where you are at so you know where to grow or where to go. But I think I've compared myself so many times to other people that it does keep you behind. You must just be in competition with yourself. Don't be in competition with the one next door, because that's not going to help you. Focus on yourself, focus on your journey with God, and the rest will happen. And what I've learned, which I've learned now, which I knew then, is you know what? All in good timing. There's a time for everything. And take time to be content with where you are. Not worry too much. And then do what you can do. Do what you can do as a therapist, as a salon owner, and let God do the rest. And I think that is the most important lesson I've learned today. If I knew that previously, maybe it would have changed a lot of things. But the other thing I also, reflecting to the past is very good. But, I've seen that is the journey. I wouldn't have said this to you if I didn't make that mistakes in my past. So from now, it's just important to take it into the future and not allow the same mistakes to be made over and over again.
Wow, Chantell, thank you for this conversation. I am so inspired. I have learned so much. I've learned many things that I haven't heard before, which is rare for me because I grew up in a skincare family. I do this podcast, I write the blog. So for me to have like multiple things that I've never heard before, where I'm like, I'm going to do that. That was so interesting. Thank you for sitting down. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule, working at the salon, running your whole life, being a mom, being here and sharing your knowledge. I really appreciate it.
It was a privilege for me. Thank you for having this conversation. I've learned a lot from you as well. You're such an inspiration to us all.
This was the
Definitely.
Wellness Journal by Willa Krause Skin Care, and I will see you next time.